welcome back to the channel. Today we're embarking on an incredible journey across one of the world's most mesmerizing destinations. We're traveling through India, a land that has captured the hearts and minds of travelers for centuries. From the soaring Himalayan peaks that touch the sky to the azure waters of the Indian Ocean that stretch beyond the horizon. This vast subcontinent hosts over 1 billion lives. Each visit unveils unique wonders that will leave you absolutely speechless. Imagine walking through the vivid colors and dynamic chaos of bustling cities. Picture yourself discovering ancient pilgrimage sites shrouded in mist and mystery. But above all, it is the warmth and vibrancy of the Indian people that truly enchant and captivate all who visit this remarkable land. The heart of India beats with a rhythm all its own. It's a rhythm that echoes through temples and forts. It resonates across deserts and mountains. It flows through rivers and backwaters. It's a rhythm that tells the story of thousands of years of history and culture and spirituality. Throughout this incredible journey, we'll explore the treasures that make India one of the most visited and most beloved destinations on our entire planet. We'll discover why protecting these wonders is so important for the benefit of future generations. We'll understand why people from around the world are drawn to this magical place. This is India. There's simply nowhere else like it on Earth. Our journey begins with a monument that stands as a symbol of national pride and unity. We're talking about the Statue of Unity. This magnificent structure rises high, above the landscape like a guardian, watching over the land. This extraordinary monument is dedicated to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He was a pivotal leader in India's journey to independence. He was a dedicated advocate for national integration and unity. His vision brought together a fractured nation into one cohesive whole. The statue is strategically erected on the river island of Sadhu Bet. This location is near Rajpipla in the state of Gujarat. The monument stands as a powerful symbol of national unity. It reflects Patel's crucial role in uniting over 562 princely states. These states were brought together to build the modern Republic of India. When you stand before the Statue of Unity, you feel the magnitude of human achievement. The scale of this structure is almost incomprehensible. It towers above you with an imposing presence that commands respect and admiration. But the most astounding aspect of this incredible monument is its structural resilience. Engineers designed it to withstand very strong winds that can reach hurricane-force speeds. It can resist significant earthquakes that would topple ordinary structures. This durability not only ensures the statue will stand for hundreds of years, it also symbolizes Patel's unwavering strength during the challenging times he faced. It represents his determination to hold the nation together against all odds. As we continue our journey through this magnificent nation, we discover a place unlike any other. We're now in southern India, where a unique vision was brought to life. We're visiting Auroville, an experimental township that stands as a beacon of hope and unity. The founding of Auroville began in 1968. It was started with a dream of bringing people together. The visionary who created this extraordinary place was a spiritual leader known as the Mother. Her real name was Mera Alfasa. This experimental township was carefully designed as a sanctuary. It was meant to be a place where individuals from around the world could live peacefully together. It doesn't matter what their cultural or ethnic backgrounds might be. It doesn't matter what religion they practice. In Auroville, all people are welcome. All people are valued. All people are respected. Walking through Auroville feels like stepping into another dimension. You see buildings that blend with nature in perfect harmony. You walk through gardens that seem to embody peace itself. You meet people from dozens of different nations, all living together in mutual respect. The architecture reflects Indian influences while embracing universal principles. The community demonstrates that harmony between different cultures is not just possible, it's essential for the future of humanity. This place represents what we could achieve if we truly embraced diversity and celebrated our differences rather than fearing them. We now turn our attention to one of the most remarkable monasteries on the planet. We're traveling to a remote and breathtaking region. High in the mountains of Ladakh stands a monastery that seems to defy the laws of physics itself. This construction is called Stakna Gompa. It's a Buddhist monastery established in the late 16th century. What makes this place extraordinary is that it was built on a solitary rock in the middle of the Indus Valley. Standing on that rock, you look down at the river flowing far below. The monastery seems to float impossibly above the landscape. One thing that makes Stakna Gompa stand out is its remarkable location. Built on a rock, it naturally protected those who lived inside from invaders and enemies, serving as a safe place during the most difficult times in history. When attacks came, the monastery provided shelter and security for monks and villagers alike. Inside Stakna Gompa, you discover a treasure trove of Buddhist art and spiritual artifacts. The walls are filled with ancient murals that have been painted by master artists over centuries. You see intricate statues of Buddha and other spiritual figures. Beautiful silk paintings adorn the chambers. Each artwork tells a story of Buddhist history and beliefs. Each image carries deep spiritual meaning and wisdom. Walking through the monastery, you feel the weight of history. You sense the prayers that have been offered within these walls for hundreds of years. You understand why this place is sacred to the people who follow the Buddhist path. Our journey takes us south to the lush and verdant hills of Kerala. We're entering a world of emerald green and misty mornings. We're discovering the tea plantations of Munnar. The tea plantations of Munnar stretch out across the landscape in vibrant shades of green. The gentle climate of this region has created the perfect conditions for growing some of the world's finest tea. This area has become a major hub for tea production globally. Its reputation for quality is known throughout the world. The tale of Munnar tea started when British planters first explored these hills over a century ago. They recognized the potential and began establishing plantations. The landscape was transformed from wild forest into organized rows of tea plants. When locals took over the plantations from the British, they brought a personal touch to the cultivation process. They understood the land in ways outsiders never could. Now these plantations are mostly run by women. These women are experts in their craft. They know exactly how to gently pluck the finest tea leaves at just the right moment. They understand the nuances of processing and fermentation. Their skill and dedication result in tea of extraordinary quality. The primary type of tea produced here is black tea. This tea is renowned for its deep, rich flavor. It has an inviting aroma that sets it apart from teas produced elsewhere in the world. The first time you taste Munnar black tea, you understand why it commands such high prices and respect. But the tea plantations are home to more than just beautiful plants and skilled workers. One might encounter a rare and remarkable creature here, the Nilgiri Thar. This mountain goat is in danger of going extinct. Its population has dwindled to dangerously low levels. It lives in the nearby Nilgiri hills and often explores the rough terrain. You might spot one moving gracefully across the steep slopes. Surrounded by tea plants below, it navigates terrain that seems impossible. Just south of the Munnar tea gardens, we discover a whole new scene. It's a place that seems to exist outside of time itself. We're entering the Kerala backwaters. These backwaters comprise a sprawling area filled with canals and rivers and lakes and lagoons. The water seems to stretch endlessly in every direction. These backwaters feature 5 big lakes, all linked by various channels. Small islands are scattered throughout, creating a maze of natural beauty. Everything is framed by tall palm trees that sway in the tropical breeze. Life here goes to the same slow pace as the flowing waters. There's no rush. There's no urgency. There's only the gentle rhythm of nature. Villagers paddle in small wooden boats that have been used for generations. They catch fish for their meals using traditional methods. Kids play along the water's edge, making everything feel peaceful and timeless. The waters themselves are bustling with life. They're home to lots of fish that dart beneath the surface. Frogs croak their evening songs. Birds of countless species fish and nest and raise their young. All these creatures thrive in this tranquil spot, creating an ecosystem of remarkable abundance. When you're on the backwaters, everything moves in slow motion. The world outside seems very far away. You feel the ancient rhythm of this land. You understand why people have chosen to live here for thousands of years. This place teaches you what it means to live in harmony with nature. We now travel inland and upward. We're heading to central India. Here stands one of the most impressive forts ever constructed by human hands. Gwalior Fort is perched on a rocky hill in northern central India. It looks out over the city of Gwalior with commanding authority. This place is full of history. Incredible history. This huge fort has experienced a lot over the years. It has witnessed many battles. It has seen changes in leadership. It has watched the rise and fall of different empires. Each one has left its mark on the stones and walls. The fort was built in the 8th century by a king named Rajput. He recognized the strategic importance of this location. He built a fortress that would endure for centuries. Since its construction, the fort has been ruled by many leaders from different dynasties and cultures. Each ruler added their own touches and made their own improvements. Walking through Gwalior Fort, you walk through the corridors of history itself. You see temples and palaces and gates. You see intricate carvings that tell stories without words. You feel the presence of all those who came before you. You understand the importance of this place in India's past. Near Gwalior, we discover another man-made marvel. This one was created for a different purpose, but with equal ambition and vision. Thar Lake is a stunning artificial lake built in the year 1367 by Maharaja Gaj Singh. He created this lake to quench the thirst of his people and his city. He recognized that water was essential for survival in this region, so he commissioned the construction of this magnificent reservoir. As we step through the gateway to the lake, a beautiful scene appears before us. The calm waters of the lake mirror the bright colors of the temples nearby. We see pavilions and steps lining the water's edge. These stunning structures display the craftsmanship of those who carved them. They were carved from the golden sandstone that earns Jaisalmer its nickname. The Golden City. The sandstone glows with a warm golden hue in the light of day. When the sun sets, the entire landscape turns shades of orange and red and pink. It's a sight that has inspired poets and artists for centuries. It's a sight that will stay with you long after you leave. From deserts and lakes, we now journey to temples of extraordinary beauty and artistry. We're visiting the Khajuraho temples. These temples were built from the 9th to the 11th century. They were constructed by the Chandela dynasty. These temples are important to both Hindu and Jain religions. They show the great skill of Indian craftsmen. They display the deep spirituality of that era in ways that leave modern builders and artists in awe. The temples are famous for their detailed sculptures that cover the walls in intricate patterns. These images range from religious scenes to daily life activities. You see depictions of rituals and ceremonies and festivals. You see people working and playing and celebrating. The sculptors captured the full spectrum of human experience in stone. The temples also include erotic art. This might surprise you at first, but it highlights a more open view of human feelings and desires compared to the generally strict views of ancient Indian society. The sculptors were willing to celebrate all aspects of human life. They weren't afraid to acknowledge the sensual and the sacred as parts of the same whole. Originally, there were 85 temples in the complex. Today, only 20 are still standing. The others have been lost to time and invasion and natural disasters. But the ones that remain are enough to take your breath away. A really interesting fact about these temples is how they were built. The builders used a special method to fit the stones together without any mortar or glue. The stones fit so perfectly that they hold together through their own weight and precision. It's an engineering technique that seems impossible, but it endured for over 1,000 years. As we continue our exploration, we encounter one of the most significant geographical features of India. We're looking at the Western Ghats, also known as the Sahyadri Mountains. These are a big mountain range along India's southwestern coast. These mountains are from ancient times. They're almost 150 million years old. They've watched over the land for an incomprehensible span of time. They're significant to the area's weather and the diversity of plants and animals. The mountains influence weather patterns across the entire region. They create microclimates and ecosystems that exist nowhere else on Earth. What is really interesting about the Ghats is how important they are historically. In the past, trade lines went over these mountains. People in the east and west could share goods and ideas using these ancient routes. Merchants and traders and pilgrims all traversed these paths. They connected distant regions and facilitated the exchange of knowledge and culture. People do not use these old roads very often anymore. The modern world has found new routes and new ways to travel. But archaeologists and historians still find them interesting. They hold stories about India's past. Hidden in the stones and paths are clues to how people lived, how they traveled, how they traded, how they built the civilization we see today. We now travel to the coast and discover one of India's most beloved destinations, Goa is the smallest state in India. It's got miles and miles of beautiful beaches along the Arabian Sea. The sand is golden and soft beneath your feet. The palm trees sway in the gentle breeze. The water is so clear that you can see right through it. Looking down, you see fish and other creatures swimming peacefully below the surface. Lots of movie directors think Goa's beaches are perfect for filming. You might have seen them in Bollywood movies or other films from around the world. They really show off how stunning the coast is. The contrast between the golden sand and the turquoise water is almost unreal. It looks like it was painted by an artist with a godlike vision. The water is full of all sorts of fascinating creatures. Goa is known for its tasty crabs that you can eat at beachside restaurants. There are tons of different fish swimming around. If you're lucky, you might even spot some playful dolphins splashing near the shore. They're a common sight here and they add to the magic of the place. Among Goa's many beaches, one stands out as particularly striking and memorable. Auroville Beach is located in the north of Goa. It's especially popular for its striking rocky outcrop that catches your eye along the shore. This rock formation doesn't just add a beautiful visual twist. It also makes the beach more charming and a fun place to explore. You can climb on the rocks and watch the waves crash against them with power and force. You can find little pools and crevices to investigate. Each rock formation is unique and interesting. It's a popular place for catching some of Goa's most amazing sunsets, where the sun drops behind the rock and lights up the sky in dazzling colors. The colors range from brilliant orange to deep purple to soft pink. They fade slowly as darkness falls. Watching this sunset is an experience that touches your soul. It reminds you of the beauty and majesty of nature. We leave the beaches behind and journey to one of the most dramatic landscapes on Earth. We're entering the Thar Desert, frequently referred to as the Great Indian Desert. This desert is known for its vast sandy areas and very little rain. The landscape seems harsh and unforgiving at first glance. This desert has been forming for millions of years. Its ever-changing sands and rugged rocks were shaped by natural forces over time. The wind sculpts the dunes into new shapes constantly. Nothing stays the same in the desert. Various plants and animals have adapted to live in this tough environment, creating a unique and resilient ecosystem that thrives despite the harsh conditions. The vegetation is sparse, but what grows here is specially adapted to conserve water. The animals have become masters of survival. They know where to find water in the driest times. They know how to conserve energy in the intense heat. From the endangered Great Indian Bustard to the quick Chinada gazelle, the creatures of the desert have found ways to thrive, despite the harsh conditions. These animals are seen rarely, but they're there, moving through the desert in the early morning or late evening, when the temperature is more bearable. One of the most astonishing facts about the Thar Desert is that it is the world's most densely populated desert, with more than 80 people living every square mile. This demonstrates the Thar people's extraordinary resilience and flexibility. Despite the harsh conditions, millions of people call this desert home. They've learned to live in harmony with the environment. They've created a rich and vibrant culture that celebrates the strength of the human spirit. We now journey to another remarkable site steeped in history and architectural splendor. We're visiting Baber. The name Baber translates to Big Garden. Once gardens thrived here thanks to a dam and reservoir built in the 16th century. The site is home to several monuments and cenotaphs. Each monument is dedicated to a ruler's memory. They're designed with a fusion of Islamic and Rajput architectural styles. You see showcasing intricate carvings and ornate details that display incredible artistry. The construction of these cenotaphs was a tradition carried on by successive leaders well into the 20th century, demonstrating a strong continuity of cultural and familial reverence. Each generation added its own monuments to honor its own leaders. The result is a complex of beautiful structures spanning centuries of history. We also discover the magnificent tomb of Safa Jung. In 1754, as the once mighty Mughal Empire crumbled, a remarkable monument emerged from its ashes. Safar Jung was a powerful prime minister who had dominated the empire's twilight years. When he passed away, his son, driven by love and ambition, petitioned the emperor for permission to honor his father with a grand tomb. The emperor agreed, and so construction began. The result is a beautiful structure that combines Islamic and Hindu architectural elements. It stands as a testament to love and devotion, It's a place where history whispers from every corner. Perhaps the most astonishing fact about Safajang's tomb is that it served as a film set for a Hollywood movie in 2013. The tomb was transformed into the backdrop for scenes in the Steve Jobs biopic starring Ashton Kutcher. The tomb's beauty and grandeur made it the perfect location for telling stories of vision and innovation. As we continue our journey through this remarkable nation, we travel to some of the most remote and challenging terrain on Earth. Spiti Valley is located high up in the Indian Himalayas. It's a remote area that's mostly covered in snow most of the year. It can only be reached during the summer via winding mountain roads that seem to defy logic. The landscape is mostly barren and rocky, but you'll find ancient monasteries scattered throughout the valley. Some are over 8,000 years old. They stand as sentinels watching over the barren landscape. Key Monastery, for example, sits on top of a hill and is important both as a religious site and as a place where people learn about ancient Buddhist scriptures and teachings. Traveling in Spiti Valley is challenging because of its dangerous roads. They're considered some of the most treacherous in the world. Making a mistake while driving here can be very risky. One wrong move can have catastrophic consequences. Yet people travel these roads every day. Both locals who've lived here for generations